Out here, deep in the Florida woods, there's a place that feels heavy with memory. This is Giddens Cemetery, officially deeded in 1890, though families were burying their dead here long before ink ever touched paper. This is the final resting place for some of Florida's earliest pioneers. Their stories are etched in stone, what remains of them anyway, slowly being reclaimed by the forest. But what strikes you almost immediately isn't how old this place is. It's how small so many of the graves are. As I stand among the leaning headstones surrounded by towering pines, one question settles in the air and refuses to leave. What happened here? Today we're uncovering the story of a frontier community's fight for survival and the quiet tragedy it left behind in the heart of the forest. Finding Giddens Cemetery is part of the experience. There are no grand signs or paved paths, just a quiet, unpaved road winding through what was once the town of Oriole, now swallowed by the trees of the Withlacoochee Forest. With every step, the modern world falls away. The only sounds are wind in the pines and the crunch of sand and leaves beneath your boots. Then, almost without warning, the headstones appear, emerging from the undergrowth like ghosts remembering how to be seen. This single acre of land was donated on October 6th, 1890 by Charles and Sally Giddens. They deeded it to trustees from the Giddens, Talley, Hall, and Noble families, ensuring this community would always have a place to bury their dead. But this wasn't the beginning. The Giddens family had already been using this land as a burial ground for years. Long before it was official, it was sacred. Today, nature is slowly reclaiming what time left behind. Though, thanks to the care of descendants, this place has been lovingly cleared and protected. Headstones lean against ancient oaks for support. Others lie broken, their inscriptions softened by more than a century of Florida sun and rain. Only about 17 to 20 stones remain readable, but beneath our feet there may be as many as 150 unmarked graves. Every one of them mattered. To understand this cemetery, you need to understand the town that depended on it. In the 1880s, a small settlement called Oriole sprang up nearby. At its height, it was home to around 100 people, miners, farmers, families, all drawn here by phosphate mining and the promise of opportunity. People came from as far away as Maine and Georgia. A post office opened in 1884. A railroad cut through the wilderness. Orange groves were planted, farms carved out of sand and scrub. For a brief moment, Oriole felt permanent. But frontier life is unforgiving. The phosphate industry moved on. Then came the great freezes of 1894 and 1895, which destroyed the citrus groves many families relied on. Disease, especially influenza, moved faster than medicine ever could in a place this remote. By 1898, the post office closed. By the early 1900s, Oriole was fading back into the forest. What remains is here. We'll be returning to Oriole itself next week, but today we're staying with the people. The stones here speak quietly but clearly. Many belong to founding families, the Giddens, the Talleys, the Nobles, names repeated across generations. One marker, though, offers a rare glimpse into how these pioneers cared for one another. This is the grave of Frank M. Niesler, born in 1884 and gone by 1917. He was just 33 years old. His stone is carved with a tree stump and an axe. the symbol of the woodsman of the world. In an era with no safety net, fraternal organizations like this provided insurance, community, and dignity in death. Even out here, far from cities and comfort, people found ways to take care of one another. Nearby lies Elizabeth Giddens, born in 1849 and buried here in 1876, years before Oriole even existed. Her presence tells us this land was sacred long before it was surveyed or deeded. She was a true pioneer, one of the first to call this wilderness home. Walking through places like this, it's impossible not to feel connected to people who lived hard lives, faced impossible odds, and still built something worth remembering. If preserving stories like these matters to you, consider subscribing. Every visit, every name spoken aloud, helps push back against forgetting. This is where the Giddens Cemetery breaks your heart. The tragedy here isn't a single event, it's a pattern. Stone after stone belongs to children. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, child mortality was devastatingly common. Diseases we vaccinate against today, measles, diphtheria, influenza, were often fatal. In a remote place like Oriole, a doctor might be days away. Here rests Joseph Franklin Noble, Little Joe, born in March 1886, gone by August 1888, just 2 years old. His parents, Mason and M.A. Noble, were trustees of this very cemetery. Nearby is Emma Pearl Talley, born December 31st, 1885, and buried February 21st, 1890, 4 years, 1 month, and 21 days old. Another small marker reads simply, Little I.N., son of C.E. and S.I. Talley, born June 1902, gone by August 1903. The epitaph shared by his sister Stone says it all, asleep in Jesus. Nearly 1 in 5 children didn't survive past age 5 in this era. Families loved deeply, knowing loss was likely. This cemetery is a quiet monument to that reality. The Giddens family gave this land so others could bury their dead, but they were not spared the same sorrow. MacVean Giddens died at 27. James Harmon Giddens at just 13. Patrick Giddens, one of the earliest pioneers, rests here. So does Duncan Giddens, a veteran of the American Civil War. Their lives span war, settlement, hope, and hardship. Together, these graves tell the full story of frontier Florida, not just survival, but sacrifice. Standing here, as sunlight filters through the pines, the truth of this place settles in. The secret of Giddens Cemetery isn't mystery, it's memory. It's the quiet strength of families who endured loss after loss and kept going, who built homes, raised children, and hoped anyway. This isn't just a cemetery, it's a testament to resilience. Oriole may be gone, the names may be fading, but every visit, every story told, is an act of defiance against being forgotten. Have you ever found a place like this, where history feels close enough to touch? Let me know in the comments, and thank you for walking with me through this powerful piece of Florida's past.